Yo, welcome to Digital Interactions on the Hacking Your Health podcast with your host, Ben Canning. I think it's really happening. Yo, welcome back to another episode of Digital Interactions. Today we are joined by Mike, or aka Todd. I guess we'll have to tell that story too. Todd has been around for probably just over 2 years, 2 years and 3 months or so. You've been around. You have been around. What a ride it has been. I just want to get straight into it because you have been on this journey, this WeHack Health journey with me. We've had many ups and downs, many trials and tribulations in our time working together. Not so many check-ins, but we'll talk about that in a while. Fucking phone's ringing.
My alarm let me know that it's time to do this.
Oh, it's time to do the podcast. Good. Right. Glad we're here. Right. Talk to me about Mike in January 2022 before you booked the call.
Man, January 2022, probably overweight, over drinking, definitely not exercising enough, and definitely not watching what I eat. Well, nutrition-wise, I watch it go into my big fat mouth.
Okay, cool. Are we joined by Yogi in the background as well? I can see him there.
Yeah, he's peeking in.
Oh, right. Okay, nice. Cool. So, not really looking after your health. How did you feel day to day? Like, what did day to day look like for you? How was your days?
Waking up late, it was, I just got a new job. So I was working from home. And there's no office to go into or anything like that. So I kind of just took advantage, and I didn't plan my day out. Got up, rolled over, went to work, just opened the laptop and sat down all day. Didn't do anything. Didn't really care about my steps or even though I was wearing a Fitbit, and the previous job we had like a walking challenge. So like 6 weeks out of the year, I cared about my steps.
You just wanted to beat everybody else in those 6 weeks, but the rest of them didn't give a shit.
But exactly. Nobody really, so competitive. Nobody else wanted to win. They wanted to be on the team, but they got 600 steps a day. I was like, come on, dude.
Come on, man. That's all you had to do was get 700 and you were winning.
But all my steps were from going outside doing laps around my apartment for smoking.
Nice. Health and fitness. Okay, cool. So we're just going to, I will always give you this credit. Like, we started in February, didn't we?
The discovery call was January 31st.
So we started in February. Yeah. You gifted yourself me for your birthday. What a fucking birthday present that was. But straight away, I give you the option of we're doing this event in Cleveland, the first in-person event that we did. And you were like, fuck it, I'm in. So talking about your thought process there, like literally it must have been not even 5 weeks after you signed up, and then we were fucking standing beside each other in Cleveland.
Yeah, because thinking about it, I was like, and like I got anxiety, about it, because I don't know if I wanted to fly with Yogi. It's like, if I drive, it's 12 hours. It's like, I don't know if I want to drive 12 hours. That means I got to drive 12 hours back. And so my friend talked me into it, so I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm in. Bit the bullet, and then brought the dog, and it's like, all right. So I was happy I did it. Obviously, I think meeting you guys and doing everything in person. It was like what, 8, 9 of us.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So I think that's made me more inclined to stick with it.
Okay.
To meeting everybody, and it's not just an online thing. We met in real life, so this is a real thing. So it's like, you guys.
I'm a real person. I'm not just AI generated. I remember specifically the first night, and obviously we'd had the Wednesday calls and whatever else. But I remember the first night when we were meeting. I think it was the drunken lizard or some sort of fucking lizard bar. And I remember being on the way, and I was like, oh fuck, I haven't actually thought about everybody's going to be sat in front of me and not just like in a little screen on the computer. I will say this as well, like on the day that we were in the gym, I was like, fucking hell, we have a lot of work to do in the way that you move or your inability to move. So we did have a lot of work to do within that. I guess now's the appropriate time to tell the Todd story. So we were in Cleveland. Obviously, it was the first event. And everybody was staying in hotels. We were going to the bar, whatever it was called, and I had booked an Uber. I can't remember who was in the Uber. Can't remember. But anyway, the Uber driver was like, "Oh, we've just left your friend off," and started talking this whole story. And it's like, Todd. I'm like, "Who the fuck was Todd?" So it turns out that was you. And ever since, you have been known as Todd, which is very confusing for people whenever I say Todd, and they're like, "I'm like, oh, Mike." So if they don't know the story, now everybody knows, so it's fine.
I'm going to tell us like for the last 2 years now.
Yeah. Talk to me about how you have seen the evolution of WeHack Health. I will, again, anybody who was at that event, I will always give you credit for being the founding members of the in real life events. So talk to me about what you've seen as sort of the evolution of WeHack Health in general.
So I think obviously because it was the first one, we didn't have a real plan or anything like that.
Not like me to turn up to something without a plan.
Well, basically all but 2 people in the same hotel. But nobody, I didn't know what rooms. I don't think I had anybody's number except for yours and Dave's. Scheduling a ride was, it's like
impossible in fucking Akron, Ohio. The one Uber driver.
The one Uber driver in Akron. And, he had to wait a half hour, but it's like meet out the hallway. And then from there, when we went to Nashville, at first, we were getting hotels. And I think I actually booked my hotel. And then somebody was like, "Oh, why don't we get an Airbnb?" And then you're like, okay. So, going from that, which was really fun. I mean, I got in late, because my stuff was, my flights were delayed, but, you guys were out shopping, so coming back. So I missed the first, shopping trip to GNC and all that stuff. And, you get to experience Costco or whatever big supermarket you went to, And so, but going out, we had a blast, and coming back, to the Airbnb and eating breakfast together or dinner, that kind of make bonds and, goofing around, getting yelled at by Grandpa Dave because he wanted to go to sleep.
I think though that for me was a pivotal change in how we did the events, because I think that the in between stuff is the most important stuff. Like, yes, okay, the gym and go on the fucking Top Golf or whatever the thing is that we're doing, but I think that those times in between where everyone's just sitting in the living room or whatever it is, like the spending the time together really have forged a lot of bonds and friendships between people that you necessarily wouldn't have by going back and fucking sitting in a hotel.
Yeah, but waking up and doing the breathing together, not doing it on the computer, you're sitting in the same room. Listening to Sean, eating breakfast together, getting ready to go to the gym. So you get to discuss your workouts in person with somebody. Like, all right, got, Dave Boyd, hyping people up.
Yeah.
He kind of came out of his shell.
Yes, he did.
So I mean, look at that. Like that took, some in person to get him to open up. And, so, because me, him, Kev Cody in a group, so doing that and then coming back, eating together, going out, goofing around Top Golf or going to that arcade, and then what was the one after that?
Colorado.
Was it Colorado or was it Berlin?
Munich was after that, yeah, but Munich and then Colorado. Yeah, so the next one you were at was Colorado.
Colorado, a big one. So that was 2 Airbnbs, and so that, but you also really mixed in, because there was the Hacks group now, so there's a lot of people. So that was really fun because, hanging out with people that maybe just talk to on Discord because we're in different weekly calls, so you make, and the thing that you do with the questions. So basically you match somebody up that's like, you don't really talk to or whatever, so
conversation cards.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. I think that really gets people to open up and stuff like that. So it's really fun. I love being part of it.
I think that by that stage, you and a few others have sort of established. I think there was definitely especially for the Colorado event, there was definitely a stark difference between people who had done and been to a couple of events before versus the new people. And the new people were like, I don't really know what the fuck's going on here. But people like yourself are like, it's fine. Everything's fine. Like, this is what happens. Just come and hang out and we're good. So I think having that sort of evolution of people who had been to a few events beforehand to sort of like, this is the sort of structure. This is what happens. Like, everybody's good. So I definitely think I agree with that. Then we were...
but we extended the days. Like we went from what Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it was like a Friday, Saturday workout, and then like so, I came in like on the first one. It's like I came in early, but say come in for a day, like say Nashville. Right, came in on Thursday night, worked out Friday, Saturday, left Sunday morning, and then so it's like, all right, we need to, extend that stay.
Yes, because there was not very much enthusiasm by the time we got to the fourth session on the second session on the second day, or the fourth total session in Nashville. So we realized we needed an in-between day for everybody to sort of get their shit back together.
Mm-hmm. Plus, fun to go hang out. Like when we were in, like right before we went out to Top Golf in Colorado, a bunch of us went out. We did go-karts.
Mm-hmm.
So but being able to just blow off steam and just do stuff like that.
Just hang out. Not all about training, like sort of do the in-between stuff in the life, but too, yeah. And then we went to Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas, that was an interesting one. Losing power.
That was an interesting one, and we'll leave that there. We'll wrap up the discussions on that. Right, to talk to me about the change in you over the past couple of years. Like, think about who you just described in January 2022 versus the person you are now, how you approach things, how you approach life, how you approach your training, nutrition, etc., etc.
Yeah, and so, growing up, I played sports, I worked out, but never cared about nutrition, even in wrestling. Even though I was always had to lose weight, but, I was eating McDonald's, I was in high school, what did I care? And now, no matter what, nutrition's always on my mind. It's like, even if I fall off or, whatever, it's like, I'm not eating like shit, I don't always eat like an asshole. It's like, always kind of like, always make sure I get my protein in, and it's like, I'm not going to eat sweets, and it's like, I'm not, eating this or that. I will have some pasta, because it's delicious, but, it'll fit into the macros, but from the first year, you spend trying to find your regimen, trying to, find like your rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's overwhelming at first because you throw a lot of shit at first, between, working out, nutrition, it's like do this, hopping up on Discord, it's like, trying to find your way. So, but after a year, and then once you start seeing results, it's like, oh, results are addicting. So you start doing it more because like once you hit that cusp, then you really, I think, hit the drive of it. And it's like the program you put me on, it's like, I don't know, they always had to do something better than the last time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always like, I was on that for like 9 months. So that was, strenuous, and to the point I think my body broke. So I needed a break. But yeah, like I enjoyed like being in the deficit and like doing like 1,800 calories and going down in weight. I also enjoyed being in surplus and being able to lift a little more freedom with the food. So after the first year, from year 1 to year 2, I think you kind of understand what you got to do. It's more reactive. I don't know if it's reactive, but it's more like what you're doing, as opposed to trying to figure out your way the first year.
Yeah, I think that if I were to describe that, it'd be like you spend the first year sort of understanding the pieces of the puzzle, and then you spend the second year sort of like just living it but refining it. So like the puzzle is there, but it's just like how do you sort of refine it a little bit more? Yeah, definitely will say.
I work from home, so mine was not easy, but I decided to I'm gonna wake up at 5 in the morning, go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And where you, Dave, Boyd, and other people, they travel a lot. So they had to find their rhythm, with that in their regular daily lives, that way.
Mm-hmm.
So like we all have different, things in life that, take up our time. So everybody's got to find their own, path and which way, to make them, what I'm saying. Get on the way, like I said, find their rhythm.
Yeah, you need to find the way that it fits into your life. So there are plenty of things that you need to look at in terms of managing your nutrition, managing your cardio, managing your steps, going to the weekly goals, doing your check-ins, touchy subject. But how do you fit all of these things into your life along with like the life stuff that you need to do as well? So yeah, I think that's fair.
And you do a really good job of showing like how you can hit your macros while being on the road.
Well, if somebody has to, again, I'll not talk about it because I did someone's check-in this morning. They didn't exactly nail it, so not everybody's quite at the standard that they need to be, but that's okay. It's a learning curve for everybody. I want to address the check-in, and truthfully, like when I was putting the notes together for this, and yes, I did actually prepare for this, and I know I don't really prepare for many things, but these I have. I was in two minds about sharing this because, obviously part of the process of working with me is the weekly check-in. And I think that there's definitely a big part of that that's like mentally like that the check-in, quote unquote, is what you pay for, because that's where you get the feedback and the changes. Over the past 2 and some years, you have not done many check-ins. Let's be honest. I think that's fair. But I will say you have still been able to progress and manage the things. So I think that you're a good example of actually still being able to do the stuff and do the work and not necessarily submit the data. So I think it's a good point to touch on because it gives you the reality. Because I know that the check-in can be a fucking headache because of the extensive amount of data. So it's just to show that knowing that the tools are there, knowing what you need to do for yourself and executing it, but also still being a part of it to sort of know that, okay, I'm doing this stuff. And if I fall off, I know that I can like get my shit back together or reach out or whatever. So I think it's a good point to note. We did Pittsburgh event as well. I totally forgot about that. But yes. So anyway, long story short, didn't do your check-in, still able to make progress. I think that's fair.
Right. And that doesn't mean it's an excuse for people not to do their check-ins.
No, I still want people to do their check-ins, but I'm just saying, Mike, is an example that if you don't do your check-ins, you can still make progress. Check-ins we've done. Right, we're going to do the quick-fire questions. So you will know the initiation when someone joins the group. They get quick-fire questions. You have been a part of distributing them. I have edited some of these. I've edited some of these specific for you as well. So here we go. Avocados or no?
Yes.
Okay. What brand of air fryer do you have?
Ninja.
Mike is very experimental in his air fryer use, which has been great, but we still haven't nailed the cookies. So at some point we need to nail a recipe for the oatmeal cookies. That's basically how we can have oats, but in a cookie form cooked in an air fryer.
I will talk to Chrissy about that because I don't eat cookies.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. What is your go-to order in Dunks?
Right now, I've changed it up. I'm getting the mango refresher.
Oh, nice.
And 2 sausage, egg, and cheese wake-up wraps.
Nice. Wake-up wraps. Good to know. Oats, cooked or uncooked?
Uncooked. Always.
Correct choice. Yeah. What is the most absurd health and fitness advice you have ever received?
Jesus. To lose weight, you have to quit carbs.
Fair. That's a good one. Could you take Kyle down for $100?
Absolutely.
If you could only do one exercise forever, what would it be?
Pull-ups.
Oh, nice. That was a good one, actually. If I were going to a packy, what would I be going to buy?
Booze.
Nice. Yeah, good. If you only could eat tacos or sushi for the rest of your life, what would you pick?
Man, that's a good one. Are they Ben's tacos?
Yes.
Well, Ben's tacos.
Nice. Okay, good. Appreciate the shout out on that. Would you rather do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, or 100 burpees?
Push-ups.
What do you call the thing you need to open and start your car?
Key fob.
I actually meant to say at the start, for anybody who's listening, Mike's from Boston. So Dill, if you're listening to this now, can we please put subtitles on this for anybody who's listening? Thanks, appreciate it. Favorite type of potato? You missed this question. So Kyle, after a few margaritas in Phoenix, was asking everybody what their favorite type of potato was, like favorite method of cooking and eating potato.
Depends on the season. I like mashed potatoes that I make in the winter,
Okay.
And I like potato salad that I make during the summer.
Nice. I actually saw in the place that we get all our recipes from now, Instagram, a crispy potato salad. I saw it yesterday. So you make the potato salad with like smashed roast potatoes. So I'll maybe send that. You can try that out. So you can cook those in the air fryer. If you're describing WeHack Health to someone, what do you say?
Still working on that.
Let's work on it now. Tell me now, what comes to your head?
uh, we
I guess maybe get better phrase for you specifically is, what does WeHack Health mean to you?
uh, for me, it's a collective of people who I feel like we're on the same team.
Okay.
Yeah. So the people in the WeHack Health community, we're on a team. So we can elevate each other, or be there for each other, support each other. We're there for questions, and we all have the same goal in mind when it comes to health and nutrition, and we just happen to be in the same industry.
Fair. This isn't in my notes, but it came to mind when we were speaking there, and I have given you credit for this before. I think that just by you doing the stuff and living the life, it gave you, let's say, a platform to be able to share advice. So not just in our sort of BC Fam channel, but the wider Discord. Mm-hmm. How has it felt to be in a position to offer advice to other people that need help along the way?
I mean, at first I felt I was a little insecure at first, like I said, for the first year. And then, because you don't know what you're talking to, right? It's like, I don't want to say something, and somebody's like, actually, it's the opposite of that. Yeah. So it took a while, for me to offer, because I had to find out what worked for me. Mm-hmm. But once I was able to find the tips, and once I started being able to hit my protein numbers, and within small calorie range and stuff like that, it's like, all right, I can share what I know and see if it works for them. Mm-hmm. And same thing with posting progress pictures. It's like, I'd never do that before, and it's like, all right, let me see. I think we all have the same thing. First time we all put a progress picture up there, we're probably just like, and we all
felt cute. Might delete later.
Right? We all have the same thing. Like when we have to send you before pictures. Yeah, God, that's like the worst moment. I was just like, do I really have to take a picture of myself? I was like, I want to send this without pictures. It's like, progress pictures, bro.
But the thing about that is, number one, the reason that you had booked the call in the first place is because you're not happy with how you look. So you're never going to be happy with your progress, because you're specifically progress pictures, because you just fucking stand there. It's the worst type of photo that you can ever take. But I think that the most important is this. I have had clients maybe 6 months in, maybe longer, that regret not having that first picture, because you have a comparison from maybe you took a picture 4 or 5 months, but it doesn't show the true change. So for anybody who's listening that doesn't want to take the progress pictures, just fucking take them. Nobody, myself included, I don't like my progress pictures, because I just fucking stand like a dick here in my fucking boxers or my shorts. There is nothing flattering about progress pictures whatsoever, but take them because they're a good reference over time to show your progress. It's the only true reference.
I mean, I agree. Take that first one. It just sucks doing it. I don't like how I look. I don't want to send it to somebody else.
Some stranger from fucking Ireland on the internet sending pictures. Yeah.
Fair. We should go. Let's cross the pond. All good.
What one thing do you wish that you knew 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that you knew now? Or if you could offer yourself in 2022 a piece of advice, something you know now, what would it be?
Jesus Christ, start the journey back earlier. Get off your bullshit and just do it.
Fair. That's fair. Would you think it's fair to say that the way we have it set up now, that the sort of pieces of the puzzle and the stuff that you have to do is something you could continue to do forever?
Absolutely.
That's the goal.
You put the tools in place. It's just it's up to the person to use them.
Yeah.
Good. But you say that from the very start. It's to put give you the tools you need to do this where you don't need me anymore.
Yeah. And that's the goal. That is and the tools are person dependent, so everybody needs something slightly differently, and everybody needs a little bit longer to actually learn and understand what they are. But the goal is to give you those tools essentially that work for you, that you can do it longer term.
Yeah, and I think I'm always going to need you in the group, but but from a different perspective these days.
I think it was Kev Cody said I can't remember when. Maybe it was actually in the podcast that was recorded in Colorado. He said, join for the education, stay for the community, I think was the way that he phrased it. And I think I say this now in initial calls. I potentially didn't say it whenever we first started because there wasn't as many people. But I think that, the community and everybody else, yourself included, within the team, like they provide something that I can't provide for myself. It's 30, 40, 50, up to 100 different perspectives on things, potential excuses, reasons. Like it's endless. Even you talking about the travel thing, like, yes, okay, I travel, but I will have specific things that I go to, but everybody else who travels will have go-tos for them. So you're almost like building this like expanded knowledge base of just other people's experiences. So what the group and yourself included provide, yes, I will be there, but I can only give my perspective from things, my own experiences and my own sort of bits and pieces. So having everybody else to sort of continue to learn about themselves and share within the group and the community is key for everybody's success, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think the community is one of my favorite things about.
I know. Right. Any final words from Todd?
Yeah, the biggest difference between the start and now is I have a beard.
Yes, that is true. Actually, we didn't talk about that. Actually has gotten to the point where I forgot how much of a hard time that you got for not having a beard.
Right.
I think it was in Colorado. You decided, right, I'm going to grow this for a month, and that was almost a year ago.
So I think in 9 days, 8 or 9 days, we go to Colorado a year. And I told you, so I shaved like before I got there, and I didn't bother shaving while I was there. You're like, you already started growing it. So I was like, all right, I will grow it for the month of June. And July 1st, I'm shaving it.
And here we are, a year later.
Yep.
I think it's insane.
I'm not allowed to shave it.
Good. That's what we want.
So I like it. It's good.
So come join us at WeHack Health, and we will force you to grow a beard.
If you want to be in a surplus.
In a surplus, yeah, that's the rules. Cool. Well, dude, thanks for taking the time. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for, I guess, trusting me with your health. Thanks for going all in right from the start. Thanks for all of the times that I didn't have to do your check-in and just send you a passive-aggressive message about not getting it done. But genuinely, thanks for being such a big part of WeHack Health, whether it's at the events, in the chat, in the community, sharing on Twitter, whatever it is, because I know that simply just by you doing the stuff that you do, you've absolutely no idea how many people that can influence and impact and motivate to start to make a change just from you actually doing it. And I appreciate that because it sort of allows us to continue the journey to help as many people as possible, whether they work with me directly or indirectly, like as long as people are making a change because they've seen something that someone has done that I have worked with or whatever. So I don't think you understand the impact that you have on other people. And I think there's many people who agree with me on that.
That's a huge compliment. I appreciate that. But, that's how I got into it too,
Exactly. We'll call it the circle of life. That's how you get into it, and you're continuing to pass that on, David. But yeah, thanks, dude. As I said, appreciate it. If anybody has any questions for me or Todd, I will direct you to him on Discord because his name is not actually Todd on Discord. Cheers, dude. And cheers. Peace out, Yogi, in the background there somewhere.
He's sleeping again.
All right, man. Cheers. Damn.